Representative John Lewis thanks anti-gun violence supporters following a rally with fellow Democrats on the East Front steps of the U.S. House of Representatives, October 4, 2017 in Washington, D.C. Chip Somodevilla/Getty Images. Political leaders, activists, and celebrities were quick to pay tribute to Representative John Lewis as news spread that the civil rights icon had died late Friday. Tributes poured in honoring the civil rights leader and longtime lawmaker who played an outsized role in U.S. politics for decades. Flags were lowered to half-staff at the Capitol and the White House, as well as public buildings and military bases. In a proclamation, President Donald Trump ordered the flags lowered as a mark of respect for the memory and long-standing public service of Representative John Lewis. Trump did not make a statement on Lewis' death before he arrived at his golf club in Virginia on Saturday morning, as Trump, who had slammed Lewis in 2017 for being all talk, no action, was notably silent on the death. Vice President Mike Pence called Lewis a great man whose courage and decades of public service changed America forever. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany tweeted praise for Lewis on Saturday, calling him an icon of the civil rights movement who leaves an enduring legacy that will never be forgotten. Statement on the passing of Congressman John Lewis, pic.twitter.com/GQLV0news, Mike Pence, at Mike Pence, July 18, 2020. Several former presidents were also quick to pay tribute to Lewis. Not many of us get to live to see our own legacy play out in such a meaningful, remarkable way. John Lewis did, former President Barack Obama said. And thanks to him, we now all have our marching orders to keep believing in the possibility of remaking this country we love until it lives up to its full promise. Obama's predecessor, George W. Bush, praised Lewis for the way he answered brutal violence with courageous hope and how he worked to make our country a more perfect union. Former President Bill Clinton and former Senator Hillary Clinton said, "We have lost a giant," and note that while they will miss Lewis, they are grateful that he lived to see a new generation of Americans take to the streets in search of his long-sought beloved community. Former President Jimmy Carter noted that all Americans, regardless of race or religion, owe John Lewis a debt of gratitude. Hillary and I were blessed by his friendship, support and wise counsel. We'll miss him so much, but will always be grateful that he lived to see a new generation of Americans take to the streets in search of his long-sought beloved community. https://t.go/kjulmumuk, Bill Clinton, at Bill Clinton, July 18, 2020. Former Vice President Joe Biden also released a statement on behalf of himself and his wife, Jill. "We are made in the image of God, and then there is John Lewis," Biden began. "How could someone in flesh and blood be so courageous, so full of hope and love in the face of so much hate, violence, and vengeance? Rep. John Lewis was a titan of the civil rights movement whose goodness, faith and bravery transformed our nation. Every day of his life was dedicated to bringing freedom and justice to all." pic.twitter.com/xmp4luv, Nancy Pelosi, at Speaker Pelosi, July 18, 2020. Lots of Lewis colleagues in Congress also spoke up about the civil rights icon. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called Lewis a titan of the civil rights movement and one of the greatest heroes of American history. Rep. Ilhan Omar said that having the opportunity to serve with him was one of the great honors of my life. Sen. Elizabeth Warren characterized Lewis as a true American hero and the moral compass of our nation. John Lewis was a giant, a civil rights legend, a leader in the halls of Congress, and a moral voice for the whole nation. Having the opportunity to serve with him was one of the great honors of my life. pic.twitter.com/b3a404 Ilhan Omar, at Ilhan MN, July 18, 2020. And it wasn't just Democratic politicians who praised Lewis. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp wrote on Twitter that Lewis changed our world in a profound way. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy called Lewis an extraordinary man, a patriot in the truest sense. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell praised Lewis for putting his life on the line to fight racism, promote equal rights, and bring our nation into greater alignment with its founding principles. Sen. Tim Scott of South Carolina praised Lewis as a giant among men. The Senate and the nation mourn the loss of Congressman John Lewis, a pioneering civil rights leader who put his life on the line to fight racism, promote equal rights, and bring our nation into greater alignment with its founding principles. https://t.go/crbl30 to Leader McConnell, at Senate Major, July 18, 2020. Beyond the political realm, lots of celebrities also were quick to honor the senator. "Thank you for your service, for your commitment to change and your courage," wrote Viola Davis. Angela Bassett wrote, "Oh, how we will mourn your loss and yet strive to continue your fight for justice for us all. Oh, how we will mourn your loss and yet strive to continue your fight for justice for us all. We must never, ever give up. We must be brave, bold, courageous." John Lewis pic.twitter.com/xntodmf1, Angela Bassett, at Angela Bassett, July 18, 2020. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, who accompanied Lewis in his last public appearance to visit the Black Lives Matter Plaza last month, said that while the congressman was often referred to as the conscience of Congress, he also often felt like the conscience of our nation, the conscience of a generations-long movement to deliver on the promise of equal justice and equal opportunity. In this moment, it is difficult and heartbreaking to comprehend a world without John Lewis. pic.twitter.com/ra3move4a, Mayor Muriel Bowser, at Mayor Bowser, July 18, 2020. Readers like you make our work possible. Help us continue to provide the reporting, commentary, and criticism you won't find anywhere else. Join Slate Plus. Join Slate Plus. Let's block ads. Why?
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.